Okay, so good evening everyone. So why we are here today? So I think we have to know where we are at first. Where we are at and what we need. How is it possible? That's the question, right? So in this world right now, is everybody happy, satisfied, peaceful, or the opposite? So think of that first. And then think about what we can be better. So, and then after that, how we can do it better. That's, I think, today meant to be reflecting this place. And this place is very beautiful, built, and the dedication, very nice. So that means we have somewhere to start. Somebody already done something good motivation. So that's why we are here. Let's say all our world problems today, where they come from. First, we have to know where they come from. Because when we have sick, we have to know the illness. We have some painkillers and something, pain go away. We have solution sometimes. That's good, better than nothing. You temporarily, you can cope physically. But that's not the ultimate want. So we want the illness go away. So that means we have to know what the root of the illness and how we treat this and then cure, right? Same thing, what is our world problem now? What the illness, not just symptom, what the root problem. So as far as I see, the root is self-centeredness. Self-centeredness means not just individual level, but community level, country level, many levels. Everybody is enough, not enough interest in other people's well-being as our own well-being, not enough. Thinking something, me, we and the other, we and other, me and other, like that way, and we devised thinking, not unite thinking. If we break down, we always see other people's problems. We always see objectively but not see subjectively. And then we always to blame and not accept it. Or we're not even thinking, how can I help to fix, let's say somebody's sick, how can I help? Don't think that way. Instead, it's your fault, their fault, they're doing bad. If they're thinking like or community level and big level, they're doing something bad, that's not too bad, but often just me. Basically, usually see is oneself is the center of the universe, the most important, and the others for me. Everything, all the resources and everything for me. My pleasure, my position, in that way. So this way and everything never works. Simple level, we know that it's not working even between two people. And not working in family level. We all know that. At the same time, we have this habit to take in many levels, and we devise and instead unite. So that's the problem. Then if we look in many ways, then we, many levels, then we see that is like individual level, different national level, different cultural, cultural habit make device, nationalism make device, and religion make device, different philosophy make device, and many other ways. Everything is just make device, not make unite. So how we do unite that? How we do unite that is, I think first thing, more lower level, we accept and tolerate whoever annoying you. Whoever annoying you think is ridiculous, you just have to tolerate. When I say tolerate, I'm not talking about, oh, so much suffer for me, but I say nothing. That kind of tolerate, but is, I think, better. How can I put up with this, but also not just put up with this? How can I make further step? You know, these people's ridiculousness, gentle way, how they can understand this. How can we find common ground? Not just tolerate, say nothing is one step, but try to think in how second step and third step. So that way is fundamental. And then second is accepting, means you accept everybody has a limitation. But you see as that is working ground. Accepted limitations as working ground rather than give up accepting. Accepting kind of like giving up mood accepted, not that way. Is like accepted is a common ground to make another step. You know? So if we see that way, it does help. It helps everything. Let's say some people's habit, cultural habit tendencies. Also you can do that way. And somebody's religious belief and they have fixation of belief, you know, a rigid belief and, you know, anything also you can do that way. Many things you can tolerate, accept as a common ground to work on. So the work on is skillful means. Skillful means you're not offended by. Even the offended, there's no such thing as offended, basically. There's no such thing as offended. We're talking about I'm offended means you are self-centered. If as much as you are self-centered, that much easy to offended. But instead offended you see other people's limitation, then is starting a good direction. You're not offended because you not focus on you focus on the other, so that other has limitation, and you see this and acknowledging that. And not only that, then you work high, working further, right? Then you need some skillful means. You have to somehow you turn that the limitations, you turn something. They understand their limitation, or they not understand it, but you kind of interested, even you some kind of even you pretended interested and become friendly, or like something you can make a second step. So that way I think we have to make. But of course, the best strategy is a communication and kindness. A kindness and communication. Okay, that's the human. We are humans, so humans start from there. Everything. Communication and kindness. So some people are very difficult to communicate. Then you can do only kindness. But if somebody can do both, that's perfect. So you have to start there. Start from there. When we start from there, then what happening is become friendly, basically. But feeling friendly means feeling closeness, a little closeness, like acceptance level, accepting, or okay, see the kindness, or communication. If there's a little wisdom, there is communication going through. All of them built-in some connections. So when we have built-in connections, then there is channel, work on continue. But if you immediately disconnect it, then there is no channel to work in each other. So these connections we have to build. So how do we build these connections, right? Of course, the most important, understanding karma. Okay, you may think, karma, that's Buddhist stuff, or Hindu stuff. But that's just name. Karma is a name. It's not Hindu stuff. It's not Buddhist stuff. It is name called action. Sanskrit name called action or activity. But there's meaning behind. What behind meaning is cause and effect. Everything is built from cause and effect, and because everything interdependent condition, there's nothing independent. Those things involve that meaning. So that meaning is profound. Profound at the same time is simple. Simple means the basic level, very simple, and then if you understand more and more profound, then it is incredible profound. So as much as you can understand profound meaning, that helps you all this accepting other people's limitation and to have kindness to helping each other, a better communication, everything. So that means I think everybody should learn properly what is cause and effect. What is interdependent condition? Why everybody needs that? It's not saying you become a Buddhist, you become a Hindu, I'm not talking about that. It's talking about you learn, start from the fact, and then try to understand even more deeper. So when I'm talking about start from fact means already obviously we know whatever you do, good or bad, there is consequences. Whatever you plan, there is something grow. Everybody know that. It's so obvious. You plant rice and then you're not expecting corns grow, right? You plant flower and not expecting trees grow. You don't expect that. Everybody knows. You treat very badly some people, and then you don't expect good consequences. So far it is obvious. Cause and effect means this, and cause and interdependent condition means this. 1 hour cup of tea to make many conditions have to be together, otherwise never become cup of tea. Without many conditions, like electricity, water, hot water, tea bag, and then tea comes from factory. So myriad things link each other. So that is expansion of, you plant rice, and grow rice. Expansion of that. So that's why it's simple. When we start simple, where we are at, what we understand so obvious things. Start from this, and that role play for the more subtle level, it does work. Yes or no? If works, then we know the cause and effect, the karma means whatever our own activities create our world, basically. So that means our activity means we don't talking about huge activity, go on somewhere, walk miles and huge activity and then the television. We're not talking about that. We're talking about 24 hours we have mind activity. Can you start mind do nothing 1 minute? If it's not, that means mind have activities all the time. But the activity is a good activity, bad activity, virtuous activity, non-virtuous activity, because of our motivation and understanding, wisdom, and those things. Rely on those. That's why, also we another way say, you understand in cause and effect. If you understand the cause and effect, then we are aware, virtuous cause and effect have good consequences, and then non-virtuous cause and effect mental activities have bad consequences. So then we also share many things together. Tonight we share this room, this beautiful room, we share. But also there's individual level, we not exactly same feeling, 100% same feeling in this room, never. Okay? But there is similar as we share it today. Many times we agree, this looks like this, yes. When we understand this cause and effect is inevitable, who make the cause and effect is only our own mind. What I mean our own mind means mind, whatever think, body follows, speech follows. So speech and body is just workers and the mind is the boss. So if you can control the boss, right? Whatever boss listens to you, whatever you want boss to do for you, then easy, right? For anything. Similarly, you know this mind is boss, and this mind is created. And then virtues, non-virtues, where start? Because if you think others less than me important, myself And much more important, the others for my eat, my drink, my pleasure, for me. That's wrong. But when you understand, others also want happiness, just like me. Others also want satisfied, just like me. We have equal rights, equal desire. Yeah. When you understand this, then based on that, then kindness come, the thoughtfulness come, the kindness come, right? Then you're not working on yourself, you work for everyone. Work means, I'm not talking about working huge job, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the mind, your wish, and intention, everything goes for everybody. Not everybody's well-being, not just my well-being. When we come in like that, then we become close to each other. We have huge connections with each other. We recognize. And then that means we are uniting. We are uniting. So we are united means no more bias and self-centeredness. No more bias, no self-centeredness, then work very well. Even just small project, if it's less than 10 people group, okay, have small project. If they work together very well, then it's so easy. If they're not working together very well, they have disagreements and they have hate each other, how hard is even the small project? Just the same thing, same role for everyone. Just only matter differences, big and small. So that's I think. So that's why one of these, somebody is annoying for you, and so bad. I don't want to work with he or she. I don't want. So bad. Is that attitude? Where it come from? Come from is, firstly, you don't accept in other people's limitation. You don't accept in what working process. Because everyone is a working process. So everybody has potential to become better. Lack of understanding, thinking, this one is so bad forever, right? So that's why I don't want to work in it. If we understand it a bit further, everyone working process. Then we accept others. And also, when I accepted others' limitations and I'm willing to help other people, means you are improving. Yourself is improving. Usually people think, I don't want to help others because you lose. I lose my time, I lose my energy, I lose my money, I don't want to help others. Right? But actually, you gaining more than that. You spending energy is something important. You spending time, money, whatever you doing something extraordinary. A simple way, improving yourself, basically. There is no subtle and powerful way of other than this. Because the material and big things we think is powerful because the gross level. But every power comes from subtle level. So that's why at least you can think of nuclears, how powerful? Are they subtle or they are gross? Think about this. So anything comes from subtle. other simple way, whatever people believe, your belief is right or wrong. If the belief is strong, then you cannot stop them. We all know that. So that means subtle. The belief is subtle. You can't say, oh, this is my belief. You can't show, you can't touch, you can't smell. So everything, we have to understand, everything comes from subtle. And then this subtlety is understanding cause and effect. So which means everything can change, everything can improve. Because cause and effect is interdependent. But cause and effect also not start from somewhere else, start from our mind. So that means we are the creator, not we are the creativity. We are not somebody created us. We have no any other choices. Is that sound right? Or we are the creator, which means our future is up to us. Our mind, view, understanding, attitude, motivation. So that sounds more logical. A simple way. You have to understand that. And then come to religion. Religion is one of the make people device, right? Religion is one of make people device. How we have to understand this? We have to understand religion is created for people's needs. Okay? The religion is not natural law. It is man created for people's needs. When people's need means not everybody needs the same. Different people need a different religion. Why? Because everybody has limitations, but have different limitations. Basically, where you are at, you need that religion. What is your habitual tendency? You need that religion. But if you are smart enough, you explore other religion. Or you can go beyond religion. You can go beyond religion. When we say spiritual, means we're talking about subtle power, basically. How I connected to have subtle power or not. When we say subtle power, you're not talking about you have to perform magics, okay? Not talking about performing miracles. We're talking about at least you are connected with your subtle power. If yes, that means you understand something more than these obvious things. So that means that in that case, sometimes you could see the religion have limitations. But it's the same time, people hate religion, right? Hate religion. Oh, I hate religion. But why you should hate religion? Because religion is designed for people's limitations. So let's say something designed for children. Do you have them? These objects, clothes, everything designed for children. Do you have them? No. Why? Because the children's needs. Why you have them? The same thing. People have limitation. They need certain religion, certain beliefs, and certain, dependent there on the religion, limitation. But doesn't mean that forever, I'm Christian forever, I only go to heaven, no other possibility, no. You can believe that, but also somebody don't have to believe that. Or some person say, oh, I'm a Buddhist forever, and long time I'm a Buddhist, and I'm Buddhist forever. I don't think you have to do that. You can do that, but you don't have to do that, right? So in that way, what happens? Hate religion each other means they don't understand what people need. Just understanding, oh, my religion is the best, the other is false. Others is false. that means your thinking is false. You don't understand it. Everybody have different limitations and different needs. So yoga, if you understand this, then you become non-biased, spirituality. Non-biased spirituality doesn't mean, oh, maybe this little bit Hindu from this is good for me. Oh, this is from Buddhist, oh, maybe good for me. Oh, this little bit from Christian, oh, this is okay, good for me. Doing that is okay, but not great. Do you know why not great? Because you not understand the whole thing. You just picking on small pieces. Something is much more worthwhile there, but you just picking at tiny. But it's okay because it's not big harmful. What means your limitation need, or your limitation need that. That's why I say okay, but not great. But anybody, if we want proof. If we want the world is become a better, we need working together, not separately. Always separately and me, others, okay, others like this way, others, me. This way, you can achieve a little temporary up and down your life happiness. But if you want perfect, then we have to work together. So that means, religious-wise, we have to understand other people's religion, their need, their spiritual path, their needs. We understand that, but we are not fixed on that. Yeah, I need this one, but I'm not fixed on this. Right? This is my favor. It doesn't have to be your favor. Your favor doesn't have to be my favor. But I accept your favor, you accept my favor. What's the problem? Because we different needs. 2 years children need and 10 years children need difference. So to understand this way, then we have peace and harmony. Okay? Peace means peace you don't need to create. Do you know that? Peace is absent of stress, anxiety, fear, passion. Just absent of that. Oh, absent of that already peace? Yes. Why? Because our nature of the mind, the good news, our nature of the mind is not innately stressful. It's innately anxiety, innately fear, not that. It's just these many mistakes gathered together that become like this. So that's why any absence of this is a peace. Okay? But that's the peace of beginning, not the absolute peace. That's just peace of beginning. Okay? So that's why some people's idea of peace is a little bit boring. Because you have no idea of what the completion peace. You just know only the beginning of tiny fraction of the peace. That is just absent of those. But what is harmonious? Think about harmonious. Harmonious is not about don't bother each other. Leave them in peace. Not that. Harmonious means work together so well, so well. Get along so well, so well, so well. That is harmonious. Of course, you can go degrees of that. Okay, I work together very well, but maybe not forever. So that means that's still limited. Work means I'm not talking about just talking about jobs, but anything, conversation level, interaction level, and just do nothing, sit together, or just even think about each other, or any level of this, you kind of enjoyment, kind of good feeling, so that's what I'm talking about. So, I think that's why if we really want peace and harmony, perfect world, we can do it. The good thing is we can do it, and then we may think about why we can do it. Logically, I'm saying everything we are created, our mind is created. Everything comes from creativity, our mind. That is why. Because nobody debate that, nobody deny this. People can ignore about this, yes, but cannot really debate and defeat. No possible that one. So that's why I'm saying my fundamental reason is that. Second, we have ancestors, yeah? We all different wisdom traditions. We have these spiritual high level ancestors. We believe and we worship. So they all prophesize. They are prophesize. So these prophesize, all prophesize agreeing this world not going to be. Yes, of course, there's stages, up and down, but eventually we had a perfect peace and golden age. That agrees. And especially Kalachakra Tantra, because Kalachakra Tantra, this is more liberated and more substantial explanations. But not just explanations, examples, what happened in the past. Okay, that's called Shambhala realm. So Shambhala realm means a simple way to explain. There is civilized kingdom and introduced Kalachakra Tantra and then transformed more pure and subtle pure realm. And this pure realm, what happened in the activities through the Kalachakra flourish, and then what the mission to liberate our earth to become perfect peace and harmony age. So that is the one of the reasons we can believe and we can work on. So, then finally people have questions, right? Sometimes people have questions. What look like, what feel like if we are reached to the perfect peace and golden age? I'm saying the simple way to understand, nowadays, why people have pressure? and stress and worry, anxiety, depression, where they come from? They come from, of course, the fundamental, the most root is what I said. This, we have divas, me and other, and this self-centeredness come from there. But there is conditions. There is conditions. Why make you stress? Because everybody working themselves, then you lose connections from everyone. Which means the human nature is not you live independently with your credit card, your bank, and your phone and your password. Nobody knows everything is your own responsibility, and everything, your own life. Any relationships just very temporary. That's why you have anxiety and you have worry. Not only that, financial pressure. Why we have financial pressure? We have financial pressure because majority of people working become slaves, the others. The others means there is minority people keeps the wealth very unnecessarily, more than million times you need it, kept there selfishly. And then you have to work for them, basically. So think about, if there is any understanding, people realize the human connection, sharing things without anxiety, together, not just partner or just children or family. It's a little bit more than that. If it's more than that, people have sharing and caring. I can guarantee the stress, the anxiety, worry, loneliness, all of them goes because of lack of this. So why lack of this? Because we didn't put value on there. We put value, me, my freedom, we so-called individual freedom. Individual freedom is killing all of them. Because individual freedom everybody likes because it's for temporarily nice. You have freedom, whatever you want, nobody bother you. It's nice. But long-term kill all the human connections. So when you have killed the human connections, you don't have security in your mind. When I'm talking about security, I'm not talking about, safety security, financial security. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about who you going to trust. Who you trust 100%. That's security. When you have 100% you trust somebody in any situation, at least one person, in any level, then I can guarantee your mind is much more relaxed. But if you have 10 people can trust, or 100 people can trust, then you are million times better relaxed and let no stress, no anxiety, no loneliness. You know that? So we are lack of this in modern time. Okay? That's why we put value on my individual freedom, my money, my passport, my me, I can do anything. Because it's kind of like illusion. oh, if you have money, then you can do everything, you know. Everybody, how do you say? Everybody listens to you. You can do anything. Not true. Because you can't buy this trust person. You can't buy that mental security, trust and love, genuine love and trust. You can't buy it. Doesn't matter you are billionaires, you can't buy it, impossible. Okay? All these things, if we can understand it, then our world become better. Do you know why? Simple example. What about all these billionaires, all unnecessary keeping money and increasing unnecessarily doing this money of event? Everybody, whatever, whoever need, and people using this. I'm not talking about their money to give to the poor people and then do nothing, I'm not talking about that. But more creative. Even poor people, they teach them how to survive, how to work a little bit more, the skills, the money becomes like that. How come not better in this world? It definitely become better. That's just small example, obvious level. But the mental level, people have this understand the value of the world, then it definitely become different. So the good thing is the modern world means anything big news or shocking news, a few seconds then the whole world knows. Right? The same thing, if you have anything convinced the people's mind, and then very quickly people's mind changes, then the environment, everything changes very fast. So that's why sometimes people think, oh, golden age, perfect peace and harmony, not possible. But it is possible. Why? Because of us. But you think it's not possible because you are stuck in the past. Stuck in the past, man, how the whole world history come, what people did, what terrible things did each other, what how stubborn and stupid mind now. You stuck on this, then it looks like not possible. But that's just past. Everything impermanent, naturally impermanent, and going to change, and with cause and condition, interdependent. That's why if we have the right attitude from the 10 people, then you can transfer 100 people. 100 people can transfer at least 1,000 people can transfer million people. Million people can transfer billion people. That's can be very quick. To me, this is my logic. But if it's false logic, you guys can challenge me. Oh, what? That's not possible because of that. Anything you can say, no problem. Because I lose nothing. Maybe I lose a face, but my personality not very easy to embarrass. So, so that's why I'm begging everybody listening online or anybody, I'm just begging you. If you have substantial logic to defeat, say, a golden age not possible, as welcome. Because this becomes a learning process. It doesn't do anything bad for me. It's just a learning process. So yeah. So maybe I'll stop here now, so we can have discussion. What time?
Any extra microphones?
It's been about 1 hour.
1 hour already?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's definitely I stop here.
Okay.
So people have anything you want to say, please share with
I
us.
don't know if there's another microphone.
Is there another microphone?
It's okay. I think we can hear if there's anyone with any questions. Does anyone have any questions? No?
I don't see any.
Well, Rinpoche, we maybe have no questions.